Hello, Eric Gimbal, ericgimbal.com, and today, thanks to photoswap.com, I'm going to show you the Canon EOS 77D. Let's start. So first of all, thank you Photoswap for lending me their demo camera so I could test it. They lent me the one that comes with the 18 135mm 3.5 aperture 5.6. I don't really like long lenses, but I must say this one is a nice lens, and I think this is better kit lens as the standard 18-55. It is stabilized. I think this is a nice lens. It works quite well. So before going any further, I'm going to invite you to visit another video I made of the brother of this camera, or sister, I don't know what you want to call it, brother or sister, which is the 800D, known also as T7i, because they are exactly the same camera inside. Outside no, but inside, I mean same sensor, same everything. You have the same image quality, everything is the same. So I'm going to stress the point on the differences which are more related to usability than to really image quality. So check the video if you want, but anyway, in case you don't have time to check the other video, I'm going to tell you quickly the specs of this one, and then I tell you what the differences are and why I think or not it's worth paying the difference. It's an APS-C reflex camera, EFS mount. You can mount Canon EFS lenses or EF lenses also. It's 24.2 megapixel resolution, DGX7 processor. You have a 45-point autofocus, dual pixel autofocus, which is really good. Full HD video up to 60 frames per second. That's not really a camera thought for a lot of video because it has its limit, but it's not that bad anyway. So I think if you do some video from time to time, that could be okay, but I would not get it just for video anyway. It has 5x stabilization, 6 frames per second burst rate when you make a burst. So I think this is not too fast for sport photography, but we must not forget this is a mid-range or beginner range camera, so I think it's not that bad anyway. It has Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. The maximum recording time for video that many people ask me is 29 minutes 59 seconds. It has SD card, SDHC, SDXC, integrated flash here, okay, that's synchronized up to 200th of a second. It has a central dot lower end Canon camera. I've removed the center dots connector, so it's a problem for using triggers for flashes. So, but this one has it, so important. It does time lapse from 1 to 99 pictures, and you actually tell how much time you has to wait between them, or you can do unlimited, so it will make pictures until the battery is dead or the card is full. You have a microphone connector and also a remote control connector, so I think this is really useful. Obviously the microphone for video is great, and the remote control when you want to do a long exposure and you don't want to touch the camera, or you want to trigger your time lapse or whatever, is great. ISO goes from 100 to 25,600. You can be forced to 51,200. I'm passing you some picture, but anyway, you can check what I said about the 800D. It has this limit from I think 1600 to 3200. We start to see some serious noise, but well, these are mid-range camera and we cannot ask too much anyway. You have a warning for highlights, microphone connector, as I said. You have a depth of field preview button, which is really useful. White balance, automatic, preset and manual. You have a fully touchable orientable screen. It is touchable and orientable. And here you have a small LCD screen. And this is the first big difference with its brother. You normally see that on high-end camera with Canon. So it's great because you actually see straight away here how much battery you've got left, what's your aperture, your speed, and the ISO, all this. So it's very handy to use, and people really like this way of working when they are pro. They like this. Other thing you have that is really useful, you have on autofocus back button. Why is this? But some people don't actually like to have the same autofocus and trigger on the same button. Why? Because let's say I'm watching here, I press halfway to make the autofocus, I want to reframe, and I realize I want to change my speed. I have to lift the finger, change the wheel here for the speed, and what happened then? I have to focus again, reframe again, all this. If it's separated, I actually focus on my thumb here, okay, then I adjust the lighting here if I want, and then I can press the trigger. So it's a lot easier and faster and really practical. Then there's also another wheel here. This is for the aperture. You can decide the aperture here. So normally on entry range and middle range, it's the same button as the speed. You have to press a second button and then you move this wheel and then it's change aperture. And if you actually move just this, it just changes the speed. So it's very, if you are in fully manual, I speak, if you are priority to the aperture, that will be for the aperture, and if you priority to the speed, that will be for the speed. But I speak if you're in fully manual. So it's really practical to have this separate. And I think this is what most pro don't like about mid-range and low-range camera, is that you lack of this feature that helps you work faster. Here you also have a lock button, so if you want to change the wheel, you have to press a small lock so you don't accidentally change the mode you're working, if you're manual or priority aperture or speed or whatever. So that's nice to have this ready, to be locked. So I think this camera is a great camera because it looks like a pro camera, it acts like a pro camera, although the image quality is the range it belongs. I mean, you don't expect some miracles. But I do think that people who want to start in photography, like doing maybe business even, I think they do like these features. So it's nice, and the way it looks pro, but what's important is not the way it looks, is that you are pro, no? But a professional doesn't want to miss pictures, so if the tool is really precise and fast to use and easy to access, I think it's a good point, so I do think this camera is a nice, really nice camera. Should you buy it? Well, I think the problem with Canon, Nikon, Sony is they have too many cameras, so they all overlap each other. So if actually your idea was to buy a 4000D and then you thought, oh, I'll go for the 2000D, and then you thought, well, I put some extra money, I go for the 800D, and I speak about this, you say, oh, then I'll go for the 77D. Well, stop it. Think about your budget. If you cannot afford this one, the 2000, the 4000, the 800 are fine. If you really made an effort to reach 800D, which is the T7i, stop there. That's fine. You're okay. If you had the budget for the 800D and were going straight to it, then I think it's worth putting this little extra money, which is not little, it's about 150 or 200 US dollars or 150 euros, I think. So it's not little, but I think it's worth it, because you're going to get an easier way to work and you will miss less pictures because you can quickly change things. So if your pictures can be missed, doesn't matter. If your pictures cannot be missed because you're doing a wedding, I know people who gonna say, scream, what, doing a wedding with this? Well, everyone has the budget he has, okay? So if you cannot afford to have a better camera, this camera is a lot better than wedding cameras when digital world started, when people were doing weddings with a 350D and it looks great, and now they look at it like, this is low. Wow, come on. The person who made wedding is more the person than the camera. Obviously, the better tool, the better. So if you cannot miss because you want to do a wedding or sport or whatever, I think it's better to have this one because you get the information closer, faster, all this. But otherwise, the 800D is fine, and you save some money maybe for better lens or for an accessory, for flash or an external flash or whatever. So, but if you can afford it, yes, I think you should pay the difference. I think it's worth it. In this case, it's worth it. Same as I said, it was not worth paying the difference between the 2000D and the 4000D. I do think this is worth paying the difference in the 800D and the 77D. Well, that's it. Thank you very much, Photosula, for lending me the demo camera. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a small button down here, a small bell. If you click on it, you will get notified when I upload a new video. My website, ericgimbal.com. If you have any question, you can leave a comment below or send me an email to info@ericgimbal.com. Below also put links to other parts of my channel and also links of my gear on Amazon. Thank you very much. Bye.